Hey, what's up everyone? Chris Tabron here. Thanks for checking out the YouTube channel. Finally getting around to doing this. Not a moment too soon, right? I'm going to use this channel in a lot of different ways. There'll be tutorials and deep dives into technical things. But first, I thought I'd just start out a little bit more straightforward and lo-fi and answer a lot of the common questions that I get. Don't know what to call this segment. Maybe it'll evolve over time and someone will suggest a really cool name. But I'm just taking an ear break here at the studio, so I thought I'd jump over here in front of the camera and just answer some of your questions. We even got some tea here. So turning over a lot of new leaves here in the new year. Here's to that. Okay, well, you can't turn over too many leaves at once because then you don't have a forest anymore. So we're going to stick to good old espresso. The question that I get asked by far the most is, how do you know when you're finished? And it's tricky because when we work a lot on things, you sort of get into this mode where you're spending so much time on details that the bigger picture can be kind of hard to pinpoint. So I've thought of 4 things that have helped me over the years figure out knowing when I'm done. The first thing I will say is, if you're in a place where you're unsure if you're finished with a song, it's probably time to take a break. Get out of the studio, go for a drive, go for a walk. Don't bring headphones with you. Maybe don't even bring your phone at all. And just be out there in the world and try to shift your brain into a different gear. Right now, at this stage of uncertainty, perspective is going to be the best asset that you can find. Number 2, sort of symmetrically for understanding if you're done, it's thinking about how you started. So maybe you took some notes when you were listening to the rough mix. Oh, I want the second chorus to really hit harder, or I want the vocals to do this in the verse. Consult those notes. Look at where your head was at the beginning of the process, and then evaluate how it feels if you've achieved those goals. That's also a great way for you to also hold yourself accountable to, did I make things better or just different? The third thing I'll say, now that you've taken a break and you're all refreshed and you looked at your notes, it might be the time to bring in some references. These can be genre specific to whatever you're trying to achieve, and I would say if you can, stripe them into your session or whatever DAW you're using, or at least in the same environment that you're mixing in. Listen to those references. You don't want to go down a rabbit hole and try to make it sound the same, because obviously it's not going to sound exactly the same. But you do want to think about how the snare in this song relates to the vocal of that song, or is there a height in these synths or drums? And an important thing to do is to make sure that when you're listening to the references that you're listening volume matched. The final thing I'll say, and this has probably been the most useful for me over the years, is listen with someone else. And it doesn't have to be somebody who's really invested in the project at all. It might help if it's somebody who's not a technical person and just a music fan, or an intern level or lower in terms of experience, because they're not going to be as invested as you are in the things that you spent a lot of time in, nor are they going to know about the things that you're feeling insecure about of the mix. So maybe just sit them down and say, hey, what do you think of this? And hit spacebar. Something that I do that's kind of a version of that is I just do a sneaky focus group, and I don't even tell people they're in the focus group. I'll have people here in the lounge and I'll just play something off of my iPhone speaker or off of a laptop and not say anything and see if anybody mentions anything or asks, hey, what is this? You'd be surprised how a new perspective, even from a untrained ear, can be really refreshing. I hope you found these useful. Let me know in the comments below what you do to know if you're finished with the mix, and also anything you'd like me to address in a future video. Thanks.